Hola clase, y ahora vamos a repasar el verbo gustar. The most important thing to remember about gustar is that it doesn't mean to like. Literally, it means to be pleasing to. That's what you need to remember. Let's see if I can fit that in there. To be pleasing to. So let's begin. To express your own likes and dislikes, you're going to use me gusta or me gustan. Singular noun, me gusta. Plural noun, me gustan. Please remember never to use yo with the verb gustar. Me gusta la música clásica. I like classical music. Literally, what you're saying is classical music is pleasing to me. So really the subject is la música. Me gustan las clases de español y biología. I like Spanish and biology classes. But literally you're saying that the classes or Spanish class and biology class are pleasing to me. That's why we have gustan, because las clases is the subject. Now to express what you like to do, you're going to use me gusta plus the infinitive or infinitives. Me gusta viajar. I like to travel. Literally you're saying traveling is pleasing to me. Me gusta cantar y bailar. Even though there are two infinitives, keep the verb singular. I like to sing and dance. Literally, singing and dancing are pleasing to me. So, class A, for the other people that are singular, you're going to use te gusta or te gustan to express something that is pleasing to you, or you like something. And then you'll use an a plus a name or a pronoun plus the ley, and then gusta or gustan to express that something is pleasing to him, to her, and even to usted. It all depends. So he likes it, she likes it, you formal like it, whatever that might be. And don't forget to say no before the pronoun to say that the people do not like it. So let's take a look at the example right here. Te gusta la geografía. You like geography. Which you're really saying in Spanish, geography is pleasing to you. A Javier no le gustan las computadoras. It's gustan because computadoras is the subject, because we're thinking in Spanish, computers are not pleasing to Javier, and then you have to have that indirect object pronoun le. So now let's take a look at the people that are plural. In order to say something is pleasing to us, you're going to use nos gusta or nos gustan, which you're really saying we like, but in Spanish you're thinking something is pleasing to us. Or you can use the a plus the les and gusta gustan whenever you want to express something is pleasing to them or something is pleasing to you all. In other words, they like something or you all like something. So let's take a look at the models here. Nos gusta dibujar. We like to draw. In other words, drawing is pleasing to us. No les gustan los exámenes. Exams are not pleasing to them. In other words, they don't like tests. And the les could be referring to a ellos, which are these young students right there. So let's take a minute to review what we just learned about the verb gustar and take a look at other verbs very similar, formed the same way, like gustar. Please look at these examples here and look at the English equivalent, but the literal meaning, remember, is pleasing to. And so I cannot stress enough that gustar really means to be pleasing to someone. And it requires the use of an indirect object pronoun. Those pronouns are me, te, le, nos, and we won't worry about vosotros, and les. These are the pronouns that you have to use with the verb gustar, and you will see similar verbs too. Mete, le, nosos, les. I said the os, but don't worry about vosotros. So here's a review of what I mentioned before, that the object being liked, it really is the subject of the sentence. The person who likes the object, in turn, is the indirect, because it answers the question, to whom is the object pleasing? ¿No te gustan las computadoras? In other words, are computers not pleasing to you? So computers is the subject. Pleasing to whom? To you or not? And then, me gustan mucho los parques. Parks are pleasing to me. So here's a nice list of verbs that are formed just like the verb gustar, clase. In other words, something bores someone, something is important to someone, something annoys someone. For example, me aburre la clase de español. Spanish class is boring to me. So we have encantar, which is kicking it up from gustar, to like very much. Faltar, a good example is that, is needing money. Me falta dinero. Money is lacking to me. In other words, I need money. Fascinar, importar. This is a good verb to say I don't care. In other words, it's not important to me. No me importa. Interesar, molestar. Please be careful. Molestar doesn't mean what you think it means. It means to bother or to annoy. So you can say, me molesta la clase de español. Spanish class annoys me. And then we have this one right here, quedar, to be left over, and also for clothing to fit. So here's another example of faltar, right here. Me falta una página. I'm missing one page. And here's an example of quedar, which means how much something is left. Nos quedan 3 pesos. We have 3 pesos left. In other words, 3 pesos are remaining to us. And here's another meaning of quedar. When you use it with clothing, it means to fit. So, estos zapatos me quedan bien. These shoes fit me well. Esa camisa te queda muy bien. That shirt looks good on you. So once again, just like the verb gustar, you're going to use the indirect object pronouns, mete, le, nosos, les. And remember, the verb is singular or plural according to the subject. Me encanta la película. So película is the subject. In other words, you're trying to say the movie is really, really, really pleasing to me, or to you, or to him, or to her. And then, nos importan las vacaciones. Vacations is plural, so therefore importan. Nos importan las vacaciones. Vacations are important to us, or to you all, etc. It's very important. You need to use this indirect object pronouns. And so here we have, to express what someone likes or does not like, to do, you're going to use the infinitive. And remember, you'll use the singular form of the verb even if there's more than one infinitive. Nos molesta comer a las 9. In other words, you're saying eating at 9 o'clock is annoying to us, but we say it bothers us to eat at 9 o'clock. Les encanta cantar y bailar en las fiestas. They love to sing and dance at parties. In other words, singing and dancing are really, really pleasing to them. And notice the lace there. So here, please remember that the construction a plus a pronoun like a mí, a ti, a usted, a él, a ella, etc. is used to clarify or to emphasize who is pleased, bored, annoyed, etc. The construction a plus the noun can be used before the indirect object pronoun to clarify or to emphasize, especially the clarification, señoritas, because you know now that ley and lace mean so many different things. Ley could mean to you, meaning usted, to him or to her. Lace could mean to them, male and female, to them, just female, or to all of you. So you need to clarify it. Take a look. We have the lace here. What is the lace referring to? Well, a los turistas. So a los turistas les gustó mucho Machu Picchu. They liked Machu Picchu a lot. A ti here in this sentence and a mí in the sentence also are just being used to emphasize. You do not have to use a ti, a mí, or a nosotros. They're just there to emphasize. A ti te gusta cenar en casa, pero a mí me aburre. And so that wraps it up. Please take notes for this one. I'm going to require you to take notes. We're wrapping this up. Make sure you do the listening and the quiz on Canvas. Gracias.